Start by placing a folded bath towel out on your work surface so you can place your replica on it. Then open the fusion core and battery box by removing the bubble wrap and the tape on each end. Shows you have the fusion core and a new battery to place in your replica. Also, you can open the top bubble and filler panel box and remove the top bubble and also the filler panels if you will be displaying your replica with the landing gear up. The top bubble and the 3 filler panels that will be placed inside the landing gear bay wells if you're happening to display your model with the landing gear up in the in-flight type configuration. 3 panels, if you need them, are inside the box. We'll go into that a little further in just a moment. Then you want to remove the Jupiter 2 replica from the box by placing your hand under the cockpit and lifting the front edge up, sliding your hand in by where the fusion core goes, placing your other hand on top and lifting it out, and slowly turn it over so that you can sit it on top of the towel that you've got prepared already. Then gently place it on the towel that you already laid out to pad it and keep it from getting scratched. Time to take the fusion core. Take notice on the fusion core we'll be attaching the plug and then lining up the 2 pins, the red one and the blue one, and allowing just the plain unmarked pin to go in the hole that's unmarked. But we'll be lining up the blue one with the blue marked locator hole and the red marked locator hole with the red one. Reach inside and retrieve the plug. And if you look at the plug, you'll see that it only goes together one way. So you want to make sure you line the plugs up and connect the plugs fully. Press it in all the way. Then you can just lower the plug down inside and line up the red connector screw and the blue connector screw with their respectively marked positioning holes, and simply let the fusion core magnetically hold itself in place. With the fusion core now in place, we will locate our landing gear filler panels, and on the filler panels we'll find a dot number. This one is 1, and inside the end of each of the landing gear well bays is a corresponding set of dots. This one has 2 dots. The one in the very rear has 3 dots, and the landing gear closest to the hatch has 1. Now we take the filler panels and we simply slide them in. The little metal tab on the end will magnetically hold the filler panels in place. We simply slide it in, feel the magnetic force, and line it up and drop it in place. A little straightening and lining with our fingers matches it right up with the rest of the landing gear. And we do the same thing for the other 2. And if we would like to display our model in an in-flight configuration, after inserting and lining up all 3 filler panels, we would simply turn the model over and set it down gently on a soft padded display surface on the fusion core, noting that it will be slightly front heavy due to the weight of the cockpit. Now we have all 3 filler panels in place and the fusion core on. I'll be setting this up now in the display with the landing gear down, which is my preferred method of display for this Jupiter 2. You'll notice here we simply grab the end of the landing gear and make sure that the foot pads clear the end of the landing gear bay. When we go to put the legs up in the display, again, down the road, you're going to want to make sure that you line those foot pads up just like they were, so that they slide up and down fully as you move these doors in and out. See, simply pull it out all the way, push the strut out and let it pull itself back in using the spring that's built into it. Again, we just lift them up, pull that out all the way and let it go down, and we make sure they're all up, locked in place where they're supposed to be. Then we rotate the landing pads close to flat, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, as they'll smooth themselves out when you turn it over and set it down on its feet. Square them up with the landing gear doors. Now down and locked in place. Now with all the landing legs in place and check that they're locked in position, we'll tilt the model up and slide our hand back under the center. Put our other hand on top of the fusion core, gently holding it in place, and flip the model over slowly and gently. Then set it on a firm, smooth, flat display surface and gently place it down. Setting it down too hard can stress the landing legs. And now in the center on the top, we'll pull up the battery removal strap and get the 9-volt battery clip and pull it up, and take our new fresh 9-volt battery, line up the terminals in the proper positioning, and simply clip it onto the battery lead. Once you've accomplished this, we'll want to position the battery to be inserted again properly. And the way we do that is by taking the battery and noticing where the wires come in on this side in the battery box. We turn it so that the wires on the cap are on the opposite side, and then let it kind of stick to the magnet and make sure that the battery removal strap is centered on the battery, and tilt it up and simply slide it down in the battery box until it goes all the way to the bottom, just like that. Take the little strap and fold it over into the battery hole so that it's not covering the magnet in the center, and then all you have to do is take the center bubble top and set it right in place, and magnets hold it right on, just like that. Any little hand positioning to satisfy yourself, and there we have it. Now that the battery's installed and the fusion core is attached, landing legs are down, we're all ready. Battery's in, and we'll notice we can turn the master switch for the lights and fusion core on, and set the speed for the fusion core to either slow or fast, depending on how we want it to look. We'll start with slow. We'll replace our bubble. Use a soft, clean microfiber or cotton cloth dampened with warm water only to clean your replica, and remember to turn it off when not in use.
Here now is the Jupiter 2, the culmination of nearly 40 years of intensive research and the most sophisticated piece of hardware yet devised by the mind of man. Bold in concept, brilliant in execution, this most delicate yet most colossal of instruments makes possible man's thrust into deep space and will soon set out on its quest for a new world.